Warriors, rise. Will you lose everything with XRP? We're going to break that down today. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity, warriors. These price pullbacks right now are the best time to get into cryptocurrency, warriors. Remember, don't trip by the dip. If you want to join our private Warrior Academy, crypto, what is it? How to do it, and an example, a robust course on DeFi, staking, passive income, nodes, mining, basics of cryptocurrency, how to set up exchanges. We also have 5 calls per week to include 2 leadership calls, 3 crypto calls. We have the best community answering questions around crypto, but most of all, our subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, and health program will help you get your shit together going into 2022. So click the description of this video down below to join today. Do not delay. All right, so let's jump right into it, warriors. So the question is, everybody's getting impatient with XRP. Everybody's getting impatient with XLM, both 2 of my biggest holdings in cryptocurrency. I want you to see this sentiment from Ron Paul. It says Ripple's ex-Goldman Sachs executive says XRP lawsuit is a phenomenal risk reward. Well, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not take a 10-to-1 risk and reward that has a catalyst around it? Ron Paul, former head of European hedge fund, sales equities and equities derivatives, he said in an interview with the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit made XRP very attractive as an investment. The current founder of the global macro investor and exponential age assets spoke on YouTube's Thinking Crypto about BTC, ETH regulation, metaverse, NFTs, and macro investing. But the risk-reward ratio on XRP was a particular highlight. So Ron Paul said he bought XRP about a year ago when the SEC lawsuit was filed, and precisely because of the lawsuit. I bought it for the reason. Because the case as there is being used, the court case is a phenomenal risk reward. He further detailed what he considered to be the risk reward as a 10-to-1. So I want you to think about what Ron Paul is saying. I want you to think about the fact that all of a sudden BitBoy Crypto is talking about XRP like crazy now. Back in back into last year when the case completely stopped talking about it. Now it's one of his biggest topics because it's getting views, warriors. It's everywhere, right? He now says he's the head of the XRP army. Think about that for just a moment. How many YouTubers fudded you out of XRP in December? And this YouTuber right here said, I'm holding on like a tick on a dog. That's where that saying came from me. I'm holding on like a tick on a dog. We also have Charles Gasparini, who is taking this case and bringing it to Fox and the mainstream warriors. So if you had a 10-to-1 chance, think about that. Would you be able to scrape up some extra money, put it into supposedly a speculative asset, which I'm going to show you is all over the world being currently used in banks? Why wouldn't you take that risk? Not financial advice, but I ask myself, why wouldn't you take that risk? If you could stop spending money on energy drinks and coffee and get your shit together and tighten up the finances with the chance to have a 10-to-1 risk reward ratio, why wouldn't you take this best time in human history? So think about that. So Ron Paul said that it's getting, there's more and more attention. And this was on the digital assets and futures of finance, understanding the challenges. That video I showed you yesterday, all the highlighted clips. But I want you to look at Brian Brooks' intention when he talks about this.
So I want to turn to you. Thank you for a moment, Mr. Brooks. If you were king for a day and you were going to tell us, here's what you need to do to structure the regulatory framework. In a minute and 39 seconds, tell us what that would look like.
I mean, I can barely introduce myself in a minute and 39 seconds, Congressman. I come back to the concept of parity. I don't know why we believe that incumbent institutions are risk-free and anything new is highly risky. So if I have a platform built on a blockchain that is doing lending, I don't know why it's so hard for us to say that can participate in our banking system. If I decide that XRP is a security, why won't we let it list on a US exchange? The problem is we treat crypto assets differently from all other assets. And the answer is just recognize them for what they are. These are assets that represent some underlying activity. It could be a network, it could be an application. They have a value that people are willing to buy and sell at. Let them in. That would be my message. Let them in.
Simple, Warriors. Let them in. And they are coming in, Warriors. I still believe this is all by design. They're slowing everything up with the Ripple XRP case. Now, remember, guys, Ripple met with the SEC since its inception. Constant communication. They are working with banks all over the world, Warriors. So they're using Ripple to set the regulation for America as they change the financial system dramatically by 2023. You will have a CBDC. By 2025, your banking system will look completely different. I like to show you guys facts, figures, numbers, logic, deep dive in the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So this was on November 9th, 2020. It's staff statement on the Wyoming Division of Banking, NAL, custody of digital assets. So this was in 2020. So the Wyoming Division of Banking letter seeks to address questions regarding custody of digital assets under federal law and state law by stating Wyoming Chartered Public Trust Company is permitted to provide custodial services for digital and traditional assets under Wyoming law. For example, the letter states that the entity may serve qualified custodians under the custodian rule based on the definition of bank under the Advisory Act. The letter further states that the Wyoming Division of Banking could not recommend an investigation or enforcement action to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commission. In this regard, the letter seeks to provide interpretive guidance on a critical component of custody rule, the definition of a qualified custodian. Okay, the Wyoming Division of the bank letter recognizes that it is addressing the issue of both federal and state law and expressly states that the letter should not be construed to represent the views of the SEC or any other regulatory agency. The staff is issuing the statement to encourage interested parties to engage with the staff directly on applications of custodian rules to digital assets, including the respect to the definition qualified custodian under the rule. So what this is stating that the SEC is saying, come talk to us. Let's go. We're going to get you up and rolling. They're already from the OCC. We know the OCC and SEC don't work. I don't know if they'd work hand in hand, but the OCC, Brian Brooks, a gentleman who was just standing, this guy right here. Okay, this gentleman right here left the head legal counsel of Coinbase last year to become the head of the OCC. Brian Brooks right here is the one that allowed federally chartered banks and thrifts to custody cryptocurrency. And this right here is showing you an interpretive letter where the SEC is saying, okay, we know you can custody it now. Come talk to us. Let's get this rolling. These are documents that I read through February 26, 2020. The division examination continues to focus on digital securities. The thing that I want to show you this is they're giving guidance here for investment advisors, okay? Because a lot of detail here. So occurrences of unauthorized transactions, including theft of digital assets. What is it saying? Examination will review the risk and practices related to the custody of digital assets by investment advisors. For example, compliance with custody rules. These are all creating rules on custody. Okay. Bank broker dealers, excuse me. National security exchanges. And it breaks down the conclusion. In sharing the focus areas of digital asset initiatives, the division encourages market participants to reflect upon their own practices, policies, procedures, and applicable, and to promote and improve their supervisory oversight and compliance programs. The division understands as financial innovation continues, market participants may have questions as their regulatory obligations. Should such questions arise regarding digital asset securities, market participants are encouraged to engage with the commission staff through the agency's strategic hub, of innovation technology, FinHub, to contact commission staff. So these conversations are rolling, Warriors. They're like, let's go, let's get this up and running, okay? So, but you have all these congressmen that are holding all this stuff back. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's by design to get themselves set up, right? Or if they're truly, truly not ready. That narrative, I don't know how to decode that narrative, Warriors. What I do know is there's something happening behind the scenes. What we do know is we're switching to a digital dollar. What we do know is they don't want you making $10,000 on a yield app or on yield farming. I know that they don't want you diving into these ICOs. Brian Brooks said it during that Congress hearing. He said they don't want us as accredited investors. They don't want us making millions of dollars. They want the rich want to stay rich, and they want to keep the poor very poor. So what I do know is it's by design to get the regulation in place as they get set up, as they move the quantum financial, or they move into the new quantum financial system. This is one thing I want to show with you and reiterate this on February 4th, 2021. The key is safety, right? So when a bank is working to set up something outside of their system, because RippleNet has the API keys to get them up and running within 2 weeks. So a bank doesn't have to spend all this money on infrastructure to rebuild their whole system. Ripple can go in there and get them set up within 2 weeks, and they can be up and running, moving transactions at the speed of light and have pure liquidity, right? What's more important than that is safety. RippleNet is now SOC 2 certified. We know this, we've talked about this before, but this is really important, okay? Throughout the accelerated shift to digital 2020, RippleNet Cloud enabled dozens of financial institutions to modernize their core payment infrastructure faster and more cost efficient than legacy on-premier solutions. Since launching in 2020, nearly 40 banks and payment services providers have adopted and migrated Ripple's global payment network based entirely in the cloud. Okay. Recently, Lulu Exchange announced its partnership with Ripple, and today, RippleNet Cloud to process cross-border payments instantly, reliably, and cost-effectively. Okay. So it's really important to understand around safety. So if you're going to be operating on banks, you have to be the highest level of safety. So what SO2 certification means for RippleNet Cloud, RippleNet's product suite ensures the highest standard in safety, security, and privacy. As a testament to this, it has been awarded the sought-after System Organizations Controls SOC 2 certification. SOC 2 are a set of reports carried out by an independent CPA to certify excellence in security and privacy. SOC 2 reports offer valuable information in regards to the organization's security capabilities so users can assess risks and be confident in the services provided by the certified provider. This means that financial institutions, particularly banks who typically utilize legacy software, planning to adopt RippleNet, can also do it with confidence using the Ripple Certified Seal approval when it comes to meeting modern security and privacy standards. Ripple is in a class of its own, Warriors, when it comes to cross-border payments. That's why I really, truly believe that it's all to bring in a new Howey test. So I'll leave you with this really fun video here. We got Ashish Burla talking about XRapid back in 2018, Warriors. I mean, their mission is very, very clear. It's to take over the banking system.
If you sent a wire today, you know how painful of an experience it is. Basically send a wire instruction into a black box. You don't know what happens to it for days. If it fails, you probably get a call back sometime in the next week or so. That kind of experience will not fly in 2018 when people are sending payments globally around the world. So when we were looking to rebuild the financial system and the payment infrastructure, the first thing that we needed to solve was how do we bring together financial institutions instead of trying to destroy them or disrupt them? How do we bring them together so that they can better communicate and send payments back and forth across the globe? That product is known as xCurrent. It's been in the market for 2 years now. It's got enterprise adoption. Over $1 billion has been sent over xCurrent in the last year. There's been a tremendous amount of excitement and demand for that product, and it's definitely the most mature product out there in the market that's using blockchain technology to solve a global payment problem. But we're not going to stop there. At the end of the summer, exciting news, we launched 2 new products, xRapid for liquidity, using digital assets, XRP in this case, to move money more effectively, and xVia, which I'll talk about in a second, both introduced at the end of the summer. xRapid, after we introduced xRapid, we immediately had a lot of demand to use that product to move money more effectively. Today, if you wanted to move money, you have to open up a bank account in the destination where you want to move money and hold local currency. Today, financial institutions, corporations have trillions of dollars trapped just to process cross-border payments globally. That's unacceptable. Using xRapid, corporations and financial institutions can use a digital asset to move money into a local country instead of having that local bank account or local currency. I think that's a game changer, excited for all the customers that we've already announced and will continue to announce into 2018. While some customers want to process payments, we have a lot of customers and a growing demand of customers that actually just want to use Ripple to send money on behalf of their customers. So what we did is we bundled up the entire Ripple experience into one API for you to move money globally, and that product is known as XVia. We introduced XVia in beta at the end of the summer. We're going to be bringing that product into market in the upcoming months. But we're already excited to have customers starting to use that product and provide us with really good feedback. And I'm encouraged about the pipeline of customers that we'll bring to market in the upcoming months.
See, that's what I want you to hear right there. The API keys words, because I'm an ex-banker, right? I've told you that many times, what you repeatedly hear gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. To build banks and scale banks is very, very expensive. And to change rules and laws and parameters and processes and procedures are very, very expensive, like the overdraft rules. Just to send out the paperwork to let customers know the rules are changing is very labor intensive, and it's also very expensive for banks. So think about being a bank owner right now. Think about being a bank owner and you want to switch your systems. Number one, you got to work with a company that is safe and sound. Ripple's got it. Number two is you want to work with a company that's going to get you set up quickly and efficiently. Ripple's got it, right? You want to work with a company that's going to help you be able to move money at the speed of light at a very, very low cost, so you can create a fee structure so you can keep that profitability, because banks right now, their liquidity is being squeezed, which allows them to not lend as much. The interest rates are going to start going up. They got to hold more money on reserves for riskier assets for Basel III. The ability for a bank to make profit is getting squeezed and squeezed. And if we launch a CBDC, that brings not if, that brings them closer to the central bank, pushing them away from the commercial bank. But what's going to happen is the commercial bank CBDC is going to be custodied at your local bank along with your cryptocurrency wallet. I guarantee you banks will start doing DeFi loans just like Nexo. They will start doing yield, all that stuff. They're going to do all that stuff in-house, Warriors. But the volatility is going to start to subside. So this is your opportunity the next 3 years to get into cryptocurrency and amass a large amount of wealth, and then be very smart. Be in the fundamental cryptos. If you need support, Warriors, we got you. Click the description down below. Work to get your shit together, Warriors. Click, join the videos. Do the courses. There's so many courses there, Warriors. We have ability to ask questions. We have a research team, a technical analysis team. You have leadership, everything you need. There's nothing like it in human history that's been created that brings wealth, gut, mind, body, and health all together, Warriors. We appreciate you. We love you, but do not miss this opportunity. The greatest time in human history. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.